to 1, number 5, Slick Khan, winner of the Deloraine Grand National Steeplechase. Number 6 is Dow Ray at 10 to 1. 33 to 1 about Dunrow, number 7. 10 to 1 about number 9, which was Full Frontal. And 125 to 1 Mowgli and Don Moran. Just about set here. They jumped 19 fences in their course. And in the big one on Thursday, they'll jump 33 fences. Over the marathon course of 5,000 metres. Today's distance, 3,450 metres. The 3YB Brierly steeplechase. Light flashing, and they're off to an even start too, and one of the first to jump out was the Tasmanian, which is Slick Khan, showing speed as Full Frontal and getting away fast towards the inside paveway. The old fellow, he's the oldest horse in the field, and he goes up to take a slight lead as they jump the first one paveway, just in advance here of moving up on the outside and reefing battle. He's trying to run off here at Dow Ray. Dow Ray running right off the track. He's run off Dow Ray. That's the end of him for the day. Ran right off the track, Dow Ray, and round they come towards the second fence, the fence at the top of the straight in the Brierly, and paveway is just in advance of Bourbon Boy, who's prominent, and behind them is Look at Me. Now they go over this fence and they all jump it pretty well, and down the straight they travel towards the treble in front of the grandstands, and paveway is the leader. Dunrow over on the inside is saving a bit of ground, and Bourbon Boy is close handy. And they were being followed by Don Moran, and just in behind them Full Frontal, followed by Look at Me, who's close up, with Slick Khan, who's second last, and last of all is Mowgli. An even speed as they come down towards the first of the treble here in front of the stands, and paveway leads the way. About a length and a half, Bourbon Boy handy. Over the first of these jumps in the straight now, and the leader paveway by a length and a half, Bourbon Boy, Full Frontal, and Look at Me improving his position at the second of the treble. Deeper on the track then is Mowgli, and behind them is Slick Khan moving up, and they were followed closely by Don Moran second last, and Dunrow as last of all. They've all completed the treble, and they race towards the double, which leads them into Brierly paddock, and paveway was the leader by 2 lengths to Full Frontal. A length further back in third place is Look at Me, followed by Slick Khan on the outside of Bourbon Boy. 2 lengths away is Mowgli, followed by Dunrow, and Don Moran last of all. He'd be only 8 lengths off the lead. Approaching the first of the double, which leads them into Brierly paddock, and the leader paveway comes along to this first of the double and comes to it now and jumps it nicely, about a length and a half clear. Full Frontal is on the inside second. Look at Me is on the outside of Full Frontal as they go up the hill in Brierly paddock, and paveway is the leader, about a length and a half clear. In second place Full Frontal, followed closely by Look at Me, and Slick Khan is making ground. 2.5 lengths further back that is Mowgli, followed by Bourbon Boy, who jumped that fence very high. That's the first fence in Brierly paddock. 2 lengths further back, second last is Dunrow, and Don Moran brings up the rear. The second fence in Brierly paddock, and on the outside Look at Me has gone very fast to take over, climbing the hill. About a half length to paveway. Slick Khan is close handy. Full Frontal is running a good race. He's fourth as they go up the hill, about 3 lengths to Mowgli, a length and a half to Bourbon Boy. 3 lengths away, Dunrow is second last, and Don Moran is last of all. Over the last of the fences in Brierly paddock, they're racing up towards the top of the hill, towards the first of the Cox's Road double, and Look at Me as the leader. He's about a length and a half clear. In second posse, paveway, close handy, followed by Slick Khan. 2 lengths further back is Full Frontal, a couple of lengths to Mowgli, followed by Bourbon Boy as they jump the second of the double. Down into Grandis paddock, they've got 7 fences left to jump, and Look at Me as the leader. He's about a half length to paveway as they jump that one. Slick Khan made a mess of it, dipped on landing. Fourth then going up on the inside, Full Frontal as they come to the first of the Tozer Road double, which leads them back onto the course proper. And here's the first of these fences, and paveway goes to the front again from Full Frontal, who's saving ground, and so also is Slick Khan, and Look at Me is just behind them. 2 lengths to Bourbon Boy. They're followed by Mowgli, a length and a half to Dunrow, and well back at the tail of the field is Dunrow. And rather on the inside there is Don Moran. Coming up to what will be the fourth last fence with 900 to go in the Brierly, and paveway is the leader. He's a half length. Full Frontal the danger, and Look at Me made a mess of that one, went down on his nose. One of the favourites almost fell. Bourbon Boy's run past him. Now 3 fences left to jump in the Brierly, paveway and Full Frontal together. Bourbon Boy's made a very fast run. He's gaining ground on these leaders, a length and a half further back. No under pressure is Look at Me, and they were being followed by Mowgli, and back behind them is Slick Khan, and about 2 lengths further back is Dunrow and Don Moran. Coming up to what will be the second last jump, the penultimate, and over that one, paveway joined again by Full Frontal. 2 lengths to Bourbon Boy, a good long gap then to Slick Khan. Look at Me can't go on, followed by Dunrow, who's raced up to be fourth as they round the home turn, and they were followed by Mowgli. 1 fence to jump in the Brierly, and about 300 metres to go. Paveway tackled immediately by Bourbon Boy, who's looking a likely winner, and Bourbon Boy going for his second win in a row in the Brierly comes along to the last one with what looks to be a winning lead. He's cleared the last fence well. He's in no danger, Bourbon Boy, and this is a very good trial for the Grand Annual on Thursday as Bourbon Boy races home to win in great style. Bourbon Boy comes down to the line to score. He's won by 6 lengths. Second, Full Frontal. Third is Dunrow, was a good trial for the Annual, and they were followed home by Paveway. Look at Me made a couple of mistakes in running. He's finished just behind them. Then Slick Khan, followed by Mowgli, and last of all is Don Moran. Very good trial. Hello, that horse didn't take long to get back into the mounting yard, Dow Ray. The one that ran off after jumping the first fence. He's back here. The rider's dismounted, Christine Reeve. And he didn't travel very far, as you heard and saw. Ray. Now, the winner of the race, there's the last fence, and Bourbon Boy going right on with the job, winning his second Brierly steeplechase in a row, Bourbon Boy, and a very, very impressive winner here. Look at me, the one conceded to have the most chance of beating him was disappointing, I felt, today. He made a mess of a couple of jumps and put himself out of business, particularly the last of the fences, or was it the first of the fences when they went back on the course, but one of those jumps he made a mess of, and that put him out of business. But Bourbon Boy jumped faultlessly throughout, given plenty of time, and giving Brian Constable a winning double here, having won the hurdle race this afternoon on Arch Style. Now, Bourbon Boy, a bay gelding, a 9-year-old by Ida Bourbon out of Sofala, raced by Mr. and Mrs. Michael Moore. Michael and Phoebe, congratulations. They'll be very delighted with that win. And trained for them by Kelvin Burke, and giving them bright prospects of completing the big double per medium of the Grand Annual Steeplechase here on Thursday. And the winner is not liable for a penalty, so Bourbon Boy will carry 65. He drops a kilo on the weight he carried to his impressive win here in the Brierly Steeplechase this afternoon. Number 2, Bourbon Boy, the winner, will pay about $2.60 and $1.40, $2.60 and $1.40. Second placing in the race going to number 9, which is Full Frontal's run a good race. Prominent all the way, number 9, Full Frontal, a dividend of about $2.60. And Dunray was doing his best work at the finish, keeping in mind that he won the Grand Annual Steeplechase 2 years ago and will be very well suited by the longer distance here on Thursday. And his trial for the annual was a very good one as well as that of Bourbon Boy. And number 7, Dunray for the place, about $3.90. Number 2, the winner, Bourbon Boy, ridden by B. Constable, trained by Kelvin Burke at Geelong. Second placing to Full Frontal, P. Worthington, and third, number 7, Dunray, ridden by D. Londrigan,